Hey guys, Kevin Yates here. So just a quick video today to reveal the #1 cause of weight gain. I mean, it's not what you're being told. You know, you keep being told that it's all about two things, diet and exercise. Let me tell you, if all it took to lose weight, I get tired of people saying, oh, weight loss is simple. It's just a matter of eating less and exercising more and then you lose weight. Yeah, well, guess what? If that's all it took for people to lose weight, then why do we have a nation filled with people who are either classified as overweight or obese? You know, we got all the diet solutions, all the workout solutions, gyms everywhere, cardio equipment, all these different classes. We got all the solutions and we're the sickest nation in the world. And that's because it's not just a matter of calories in versus calories out and all this exercise and all this crap that you're being told. There's something going on under the scenes and no one's talking about it. And that's what's driving the problem with weight gain. It's down here. I made this diagram to illustrate it, but it's right there. The S stands for, in a nutshell, stress. That is it. It's actually too much stress. You know, all the statistics, if you look at it, it'll show that in America, we are so highly stressed out. We've got a nation filled with people who are like missing so much work time and costing employers millions of dollars a year because of stress-related illnesses and absenteeism and all this stuff. Stress is driving people it's driving weight gain and obesity. It's also driving health problems. It's driving psychological problems. So here's how it works. Every time you experience stress, and there's all kinds of stresses we take on, but think of them that in 4 categories. That basically, if you take all the different kinds of stress, you could kind of put them into at least one of 4 categories. So mental stress, emotional stress, physical stress, and nutritional stress. Every time you experience a stress, it could be a good stress or a bad stress, right? So here's the examples. Good stress. When you're excited and happy, that's actually a form of stress. When you exercise is a form of stress, right? Now, some stress is good for us. We do need some. But again, the problem is that we're overwhelmed with it. The negative stressors. If you have a fight with, a loved one, if you are under pressure trying to come up with money for the month to pay your mortgage on your house, if you got job deadlines, travel schedules, family life that you're trying to juggle, all those types of things are, quote unquote negative stressors. But it doesn't matter if a stress is considered good or bad, healthy or unhealthy. Every stress that you take on builds up. It adds up in the body. So every time we take on stress, it kind of pushes us further to our threshold. So our threshold is basically how much stress we can tolerate without any real problems. But once we get bumped up over the threshold, which in this nation, most people are 24/7 over that threshold, and they don't even know it. Once you get bumped up over that threshold, here's where problems start to happen, because your body releases cortisol. And when you have constantly elevated levels of cortisol, now you start having some problems from a weight loss standpoint. Here's what it looks like. Your digestion gets affected. You don't digest foods well because cortisol is that fight or flight hormone, right? The blood's getting driven into your arms and your legs, the extremities, in case you have to go run or you have to fight. It's a hormone that's what it does, right? But you don't digest food very well. So what happens with that is that you've got food sitting in your stomach, and even on a low-calorie diet, you can cut the calories and all that, but if your digestion is really slow or inhibited, and you eat before the other meal is digested, you start packing food on top of food. Even on a low-calorie diet, you'll still gain weight. And that's what happens to a lot of people. They end up, they cut all these calories out their diet. Sure, they lose weight for a while, but the weight loss stalls. Then they try and cut more calories, and then they lose a little bit more, but not like they did originally. Then they cut more calories, and on it goes until they hit that wall. And no matter how hard they try, they can't lose any more weight. And here's the thing, that it gets to be even worse. The more calories that you cut, the more exercise you add when you're in that state, are worse for you because they increase the stress. Cutting calories out of your diet is a stressor. Exercise, like I said, is a stressor. The more stress you take on, the more it keeps you bumped up here, the more cortisol you keep releasing, the more you don't digest foods. You see the problem, right? Weight gain. The other thing is decreased metabolism, because when you have elevated levels of cortisol for too long, you start to take protein and break it down for energy. And where your body stores most of its protein is in muscle cells. And muscle cells are energy burners. So the less muscle you have, the slower your metabolism is, the easier it is to gain weight. And then finally, increase belly fat. I mean, that's the whole thing. Look at all the cortisol supplements that they market in the weight loss industry as if, you need these cortisol lowering supplements to get rid of belly fat. Well, cortisol does encourage the storage of belly fat. You just don't need the garbage supplements to get rid of it. What you need to do to get rid of this whole problem so that you lose weight and keep it off is not to cut calories and go on these diets or do extreme workouts. What you need to do is reduce the main things that are causing most of the stress in the 4 areas that you can control: mental, emotional, physical, nutritional. If you identify in those areas where your main stressors are, maybe your top 2 to 3 in each area, and start focusing on reducing each of those, you'd be surprised, because what it does is it starts to take you now down under that threshold that you have. And once you're under there, your body can start to function normally. You start digesting food better. You're not breaking down protein, so your metabolism will actually stay elevated. You're not encouraging the storage of belly fat, right? So that's all it takes. That's the number one cause of weight gain. It's not, the diet and exercise and all that stuff. Those are symptoms on the surface. The cause is what we got to address, because if you can effectively identify and eliminate the cause, then the symptoms will resolve themselves. So hopefully that helps you out. And until the next time, this is Kevin Yates telling you good luck and take care.